Hey, it's Troy, and welcome to video 2 in this series of 3 videos to celebrate the forthcoming release of the Charisma and Dating Academy, which is my new 10-hour plus video course on dating game and how to ace it in the dating marketplace in 2020. Okay, so listen, today in this coaching video, we're going to be getting into the most important game technique that there is in 2020. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you that in just a moment in this video. But first, if you didn't see the first video in this series, then look back in your email. You'll find the link, or drop me an email at troy@realtroyfrancis.com. If you can't find it, I'll send you the link. But anyway, I'll do a very quick recap, and then we'll get into talking about, or rather into the coaching of this specific technique. So look, first off, I'm Troy Francis. I'm a dating coach. I'm a writer. I'm a consultant. You probably know my stuff already because you're on this list and so on. But if you don't, I've been in this field for over 15 years now, since the early 2000s. I've been creating content for over 6 years now, both for other websites, people like Return of Kings, and also on my own website, realtroyfrancis.com, in this email list and on other social media platforms, particularly YouTube now. So I've been doing that content. I've also been coaching guys. I've coached hundreds and hundreds of guys from all over the world in game, in dating, in pickup principles, and so on and so forth. And I've also winged with some of the most famous and well-known players in the world, if you like, and also some who aren't well known at all, but are just very, very good. And I've befriended them, and I've sort of spent time with them and hung out with them and everything else. So with all of that experience combined, plus my own experience, of course, where I've done, thousands and thousands of sets, approaches, interactions with different girls all over the world, dating, relationships, mini relationships, harem type relationships, all that kind of stuff. So with all of that experience combined, I'm in a really good place now to deliver this information to you and to really help you with the challenges that you are no doubt having in the dating scene today. Not least because of the virus and because of lockdown. And even I can't help with that, because obviously we're in this unprecedented situation globally. But as I've been saying all along throughout this series and in other content, it's not going to last forever, right? Already, we are seeing some easing of lockdown in certain areas of the world. That's only going to continue. And when lockdown does ease, then what's going to happen is there's going to be pretty much a crazy explosion of dating activity, because people are just fed up with being cooped up and they kind of want to let loose and everything. And if it starts to happen during the summer months, which is what it's looking like, then you're going to have heat on top of that as well. So people are just going to go nuts, okay? And you want to be prepared for that eventuality, right? You want to be ready to hit the dating marketplace running, right? You want to be that kind of impressive, authentic guy who, rather like the natural you knew from school or college, who just always knew what to say, who was always on, who was just cocky, confident, kind of witty, got that little element of danger about him, not too much of a nice guy, not too much of a good guy. He's just got that kind of that sort of edge to him. That's what you want to be when you go out there and hit the, hit the streets, hit the clubs, hit the bars, whatever, hit the dating apps even. You need to be charismatic, but you also need to have that edge about you, right? That's what's going to help you win the game. Because aside from the current virus situation, one of the problems that we face in 2020 and the last few years is that everybody's become a little bit normalized. Everybody's kind of the same, all right? Because there's this globalized homogenization of culture. So you've got the same stores everywhere, people listening to the same music. It's all, and so what that means is guys, and girls, but guys have become all a bit samey, right? Everyone's wearing the same kind of clothes, everyone's sort of into the same stuff, same Netflix shows, all of this kind of thing. And it's sort of like, well, come on, you need to stand out, because when she's being messaged by, 2,000 dudes who are all into Coldplay and, kind of Tiger King, and that's the extent of their interests, then you know, you've got no standout. There's nothing about you. And if you're also a nice guy, which most dudes are, because that's just what society teaches us to be, then, you know, you're just going to get passed over in this dating marketplace. That's the truth of it. You're just going to get passed over unless you've got that extra something about you, unless you've got that kind of edge, unless you've got, you know, there's a sort of a fire, right, behind the eyes. And this is what Charisma and Dating Academy gives you. It's a transformational program which basically takes you apart and then rebuilds you from the ground up. And you will emerge, blinking in the sunlight, a new man, right? You will emerge as somebody who has the mindset tools to ace it, to stop being like the nice guy, to stop being the put down kind of dude who gets passed over. You're going to have that edge to you that's going to fascinate girls, but you're also going to have the game tools as well, because the final section of the 5 modules in that course is a very deep dive into all of the game techniques that I've learned over the last 15 years, okay? So it's a very powerful package, as you might say, and I'm really excited about it. But anyway, all of that being said, let's move on to what I want to talk about today, which is flipping the script, okay? So here's the thing, right? Normally, for most guys, we're taught certain things about dating and about women as we grow up, right? We are taught that effectively women are sort of on a tier above us, okay? And we're taught that we have to supplicate to them. We're taught that, oh, if you want to get into her good graces, if you want to get into her favour, then, you know, you have to be really nice to her, and you have to be sort of like, and she's so beautiful, and she's so innocent, and she's so perfect, and, you know, you have to appreciate those things about her because, you know, that way she's going to look favourably on you because, you know, because if you're somebody who can appreciate her beauty, if you can appreciate, you know, her sort of maybe intellect even, but, you know, if you can appreciate what's so amazing about her, then she's going to like that about you, and then she's going to choose you in order to, you know, to have a relationship with or have sex with or whatever. Unfortunately, that's all nonsense. It doesn't work like that, right? And this comes down to the same thing of why, you know, nice guys always finish last. It's because in reality, regardless of what people say, when it comes down to it, the person that she's going to choose in most cases is the bad boy. And I've said before, if you watch reality TV shows, if you watch women being interviewed talking about the guys that they choose, 90% of the time you will see a woman saying, yeah, well, you know, I always go for those bad boys. I just can't stop it. I don't know, you know, I can't help myself. It's just something about it. You know I need to go for a nice guy, but, you know, it's just like, they just get me, you know? And each girl says it as if she's sort of saying something unique, but of course she isn't, because they all say it, right? So, you know, you would be hard pressed, I think, to find a woman saying, oh God, I always just go for the nice guys. I can't help myself. Just those nice guys, they just keep dragging me in, you know. I want to try one of these bad boys that people keep talking about, but I just can't stop. Just can't stop with the nice guys, you know? You never hear that. You will never hear that. And if you do hear it, then drop me an email and send me the link, because I'll be amazed. Now, of course, there is a reality that as women's priorities start to change, you know, usually as they get older, they will. Some water. They will start to favour, you know, like nicer guys, or at least guys who are more stable and responsible and all of those things, because, you know, they want to get their life together, and they want to have a certain type of life, and they're looking for a different kind of guy. But in the earlier stages, particularly when they're younger, what they actually want is emotion, and they want excitement, and they want even a bit of danger. And they want a kind of like an up and down emotional roller coaster ride. And, you know, if you're not the dude to supply that, then she's going to see you as boring, and, you know, she's going to pass you off. In a way, relationships are now part of the entertainment infrastructure, okay? And so if, you know, she knows she's got a Netflix account, she's got a Spotify, and then a relationship. And if you're not supplying, you know, dopamine hits, if you're not, and then interspersing that with arguments and a bit of pain, a bit of drama, and all of that kind of stuff, she's going to kind of get a bit bored with it. And then, you know, she's going to start looking around, and then, you know, you're kicked to the curb. So unfortunately, that's just the reality of the world we live in, right? And you can either kind of understand that, accept it, and adapt, or you can put your head in the sand. But I think we need to be realistic about how things are, and we need to prepare ourselves accordingly. So, flipping the script is absolutely essential. And what that means is effectively that you, instead of falling into the frame of she is so superior, she's above me, she's so fantastically wonderful, you actually flip that script around and you regard yourself as being the one who is above her. You are the 10, okay? You know the old scale of like 1 to 10, is she a 1, is she a 7 or an 8 or whatever. In this configuration, you are the 10. Now, it doesn't matter so much whether you actually are a 10 in reality, okay? Objective reality is not so much the point here. It's how you regard yourself and how you come across when you go into the interaction. And the way that you want to come across is as cocky as hell, to be honest, because that is what ultimately is going to attract her. Irrational self-confidence is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most attractive thing that a guy can have about him, beyond money, beyond looks, beyond height, beyond all of that stuff. If you are a cocky MF and you are irrationally self-confident, that is to say, your self-confidence doesn't have to be based on something. It's not based on the fact that you've got a Lambo parked outside. It doesn't have to be based on the fact, you know, the whatever, you've got 6 houses in Malibu or something. It doesn't have to be based on anything. In fact, it's almost better if it's not based on anything. You just think you are awesome. And the way that works when you enter into an interaction with her is chemically mind-blowing, right? Because she picks up on that, and that just triggers her. That makes her excited, okay? And this is what you need to do. And even if you are rich, and even if you are good-looking, and even if you are, you know, you have all of some of those attributes to a certain degree, you still need to trigger her emotionally as well. I'm not saying that, you know, it's not going to be easier for you if you are those things, but you still need to have that edge. And the edge comes about by you regarding yourself as higher than her. And the way that you do this, you need to, I mean, there are certain things you can say, right? You know, you can walk into the interaction and you can say to her, oh, I just noticed you checking me out. God, I'm not just a piece of meat, you know. Or you can sort of say, oh, like, you just keep, I was walking down there and you just keep trying to get eye contact with me. You are such a naughty girl, aren't you? You know, and you can do that kind of thing. There are certain things you can say. But ultimately, you need to internalize this. You need to actually start to believe it, okay? And even if the girl is like a 10, even if the girl is like one of the most attractive girls you've ever seen, you have to get yourself mentally into the state where you think you are higher than her, okay? And I'm not saying it's easy, and we go into this in the course, in Charisma and Dating Academy, and I break it down for you because there are a number of steps involved in this, but ultimately that's what you have to do, okay? Now, one of the ways you can do this is to approach when you go out as being a little bit like an actor, all right? You know, you might not personally feel that, you know, you are worthy of thinking you're better than her or anybody else. But imagine that you're playing a part. Imagine that you're playing a role. When you go out, when you go on a night out, just for those 4 hours or however long it is you're out, 5 hours, you're not yourself, you are a version of yourself. You are playing a version of yourself. And that version of yourself is incredibly cocky, incredibly charismatic, says what he wants, doesn't try to people please, and gets his own way. And you can support that by doing things like affirmations. So you can look at yourself in the mirror and you can say, I am a 10, I am a 10, I'm the most attractive guy in the city, I'm the most attractive guy in the country. You know, just repeating stuff like that. Doesn't matter if it's true. The point is that you do it and that you internalize it. And then when you go out, you are playing a role and you allow yourself to play that role to the best of your ability for that period of time. When you come home, you can sit on the couch again, you can think I'm a schlub. It doesn't matter, right? For that period of time when you're out, you've internalized it. That's how you come across. And the way that comes across, that's going to affect the way that people see you. You can literally shift the reality around you. And we talk about this in the course. It's called the reality distortion field. You can literally shift the way that other people perceive you if you believe strongly enough in your own reality, okay? So this is deep stuff and it's powerful stuff. We get into this in Charisma and Dating Academy. You know, it's about transforming yourself from the ground up and literally becoming that attractive guy, even if objective reality might state otherwise. Doesn't matter, right? You know, you will be amazed at how people will go along with you, girls will go along with you, attractive, beautiful women will go along with you and believe you to be the prize if that is how you present yourself. So you need to be flipping the script. In this market, it's absolutely essential, okay? Without doing this, you are going to be, you know, I'm not saying that you won't meet people and you won't, you know, but you will not be operating at the highest possible level in the game. So you need to internalize this stuff. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got value from this coaching session. As I say, we go into all of this stuff in much more detail in the course, and I give you a step-by-step guide for how to actually achieve this. But ultimately, if you take one thing from this series of 3 videos, it is that you need to be flipping the script when you're out there in the dating scene. When lockdown's over, of course. So yeah, Charisma and Dating Academy, 10-hour plus video course is out on the 30th of April until May the 4th. There's only a 5-day enrollment period because we're going to be doing Zoom webinars as well. There's going to be 2 Zoom webinars a day for 5 days, so that's 10 webinars in May, where I'll support you through the material and coach you personally. There's also going to be a Telegram group for guys who sign up, individual coaching with me for the first 10 guys, etc., etc. There's loads of bonuses. So that's going to be open from the 30th of April to May the 4th. I'll be sending out more details soon. The 3rd video in this coaching series is coming out in a day or so. So look out in your inbox. I'll be emailing it to you, and we'll be continuing this series of 3 free coaching videos on the current dating marketplace. So look, I hope that you enjoyed this. And listen, I mean, you know, I know guys have different opinions on this. I've had guys saying to me, well, am I too old? Like, no, you're not too old. It's not about age. This is about mindset. This is about attitude. I'm in my 40s. This stuff works for me amazingly. I know guys in their 50s and even older who are using exactly these techniques and performing at the highest levels. People are saying to me, well, do I learn this stuff while the virus is on? Yes, this is absolutely the best time to learn this stuff because we've got a little bit of a respite now before the dating marketplace explodes when all of this eases. So now is absolutely the right time to be studying this stuff. Another guy was saying to me, he's got issues within a game, inner stuff. Is this the course to help with that? Yes, 100% it is. This is very focused on the internal mindsets that you need to succeed. Anyway, guys, look out for the 3rd video in this series of coaching videos in an email in the next day or so, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.